Yo, everyone, pardon me, I'm just linking everything so that people know that I am live. Linking people on Twitter, linking people in the community as well so they know, so anyone can join in. Wait, I hope my mic is going through. Yeah, it's going through. Just wanted to be doubly sure. Live? No. Good to see you, Psycho. Good to see you, Ravi, as well. Always grateful and always happy to see you two here. Well, always happy to see anyone here, but you two, you guys always tend to show up to everything. So I have to say this about you, Psycho, and I don't think I've said this before, but out of everyone that has ever come to my channel, especially when it comes to my live streams, you are inhumanly punctual when it comes to showing up to my live streams. I can always count on either you or Cohagen or CJ to be here for my streams, but I feel like you show up more even than CJ does. You're literally here for everything. And I want to say for all these years you've been here, if it's been a number of years, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another reading of One Punch Man. Today, we are going to be going through volume 16 of the series, and I believe this is the volume where I'm going to be finally going past the second season of the anime, so I can actually find out where I am story-wise. Now, let me just turn the volume down here on the playback, so that way the volume seems good. You guys let me know if the volume sounds good to you. All right, last we left off, the Heroes Association was talking about the Monsters Association, and the Monsters Association put their demands out there, but they intend to get rid of the Heroes Association. A lot of things is going on, a lot of monsters. Geno's got a new body. Saitama is trying to, figure out his place in life, and then him talking to King kind of set him, kind of put some thoughts into his head. Like, King said to him, like, hey, you think just because you have all this strength, then that's the end goal? If that's all that you really think, then you really haven't made it as a hero. And then Garou is still there, and then it pretty much ends the volume with Garou being surrounded by Death Gatling and a numerous number of other heroes where they find his hideout. And it turns out that that kid that had that hero guide that Garou was looking through in order to find out where all the heroes were so he could hunt them, turns out that kid went inside his hideout on a dare from some other small kids and is about to put himself in the crosshairs, because one of the things that Death Gatling says at the end of the last volume is, like, if we see any movement, open fire. And the one that's opening the door to Garou's hideout is this small kid. And the last thing we see is Garou telling him, hey, don't open that door yet. Hey, come over here for a second. So that's where that volume ended. So let's go ahead and get started with today's. And it's actually a very thick one. Like, it feels a lot thicker than the last one I did last week. Let's see how many we're going to be seeing, how many chapters we're going to have today. Volume 16, Depleted. And we got how many chapters? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4. Wow. Just 4 chapters in this volume, but they're long, with a bonus manga at the end. Let's begin! Punch 81, Tenacity. Oh, also, I forgot that Garou's in his hideout because he got massively beaten by Watchdog Man, and he didn't have the strength to hunt anyone else, so he went home. That's the reason why he was in the hideout. Punch 81, Tenacity. And then it cuts to Garou talking to the kid, with the kid going,
Hero guide? Yeah, I have it with me. Why?
And then Garou just says, I need it. And then the kid takes it out of the back of his pants, and he just goes,
Here.
This is the latest edition, so it has info on all the heroes? Like on their fighting styles, characteristic and special moves?
Well, not for all of them. Some heroes release info for fans, but others keep their moves secret. And then there are some stubborn types who refuse to sell merchandise and stuff.
Let's see. And then Garou takes his finger and jabs a hole, takes a finger and then jabs a hole into the wall. as he can look outside because apparently he's going to use the guide to see who's waiting for him out there. Let's see. What am I up against? And he's looking through the he's looking through the hole he made, and he sees all the heroes outside. We got Smile Man, Stinger, we got Death Gatling there. 4 in front. Class A Rank 8 Death Gatling. This hero has an automatic gun connected to his left arm. It obliterates monsters without giving them a chance to counterattack. This is ideal for fighting many opponents at once, so he has the ability to turn the tide of any battle. He looks scary, but has a ridiculously simple sense of justice. Simple sense of justice. You finally got your 55-inch TV today? Awesome, Ravi, awesome! I might need to upgrade from mine, but I don't think I need to. I think I need to get a new chair and a new desk. My TV's fine. It's like a 42-inch. Oh, snap! I forgot about chat. My bad. Hold on. Oh, I'm so glad you told me about that, Ravi, before I got started in depth. Hold on, let me fix that. My bad. I completely forgot that I have to always refresh chat for the toolbar. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for saying something before we got knee-deep into this volume. All right, there you go, Psycho, Ravi, and then everyone on the chat in there. There you go. I almost forgot. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. Class A Rank 8 Death Gatling. This here, oh, well, we already went through Death Gatling. It's pretty much, it's not Garou going through this. I kind of read it in his voice, but it's just giving us info on these heroes that we didn't get descriptions of before. Class A Rank 10 Stinger. Nothing can stop the killer thrusts this hero unleashes with his trusty spear named Bamboo Shoot. I'm pretty sure there's an innuendo in there somewhere. He possesses outstanding offensive capabilities, but he tends to get carried away, which can be a bit of a problem. He loves to please his fans, so if you see him around town, be sure to say hi. These are all the descriptions that are in this hero guide that Garou is looking at. Class A Rank 27 Smile Man. This hero fights with a giant kendama toy mallet. His techniques are all based on the toy and really pack a wallop, allowing for complete offensive and defensive mastery. His 2 younger brothers are also heroes who wield toys as weapons. Known as the Blunt Brothers, they rely on their older sibling a great deal. And then in front of the 4 in front, the last one is Class B Rank 6 Wildhorn. This hero is a skilled former construction worker, clad from head to toe in self-made armor. Countless monsters have fallen prey to his battle pile driver called Pile Bison. And remember this guy from the bonus manga of when Saitama was on the team to find this big wild science experiment. And they really didn't treat Saitama all that well because he didn't understand teamwork. He's an incredibly serious hero who values following a plan, as that bonus manga explained to us. And then we got to Garou, still going, and 2 farther back. And it got 2 people standing out in the background. Class A, rank 36, Chain Toad. This skilled hero fights with a special weapon called a Kusarigama, which was one of my favorite weapons in the Neo video game, and Neo 2. Kusarigamas were kind of broken in that game. Which consists of a sickle and chain. The man inside the costume is an unremarkable middle-aged guy, but he's strong. He wears a frog mask, so he'll be popular with children. Cheer him on, kids! And Class B, rank 21, Magane. Once a member of the Blizzard Bunch, this hero struck out on his own in order to surpass his limits. Currently, he's in training. He doesn't have any particularly noteworthy characteristics, but he's rapidly rising in the ranks, so look out for him. This is the same guy that was in the other bonus manga, talking about the Blizzard Bunch, and he was face-to-face with like a giant fan demon type monster that blew away a lot of the Blizzard Bunch until Saitama came in and saved him, and then he and Saitama had a nice chat. It's a good thing I read all these bonus mangas, so I knew about these guys beforehand. Well, a handful of them, that is. And 1 to either side. And the kid in the background is looking at Gar like,
What are you doing?
Class B, rank 43, Blam Blam. This man has rawhide nerves and loves guns. He's no good in close combat, so he finishes the fight before it comes to that. He's an extremely deadly shot whose best move is joint blasting. And Blam Blam just looks like your classic Lone Ranger gunman type dude with dual pistols. And then we have Class B, rank 99, Shooter. This hero was once a forest hunter. His poison arrows sap the life from his prey so he can pursue and finish them off. When he uses the move Arrow Rain, a storm of arrows falls from far overhead, making it practically impossible for monsters to dodge. Then we cut back to Garou, and you'll have to pardon me if I take breaks and I kind of burp a little bit. I literally just finished breakfast before this stream started. A total of 8. Usually that would be a cinch, but too much fighting has left me heavily wounded, so this won't be easy. Luckily, this guide has useful info so I can come up with a plan. And then it cuts to Death Gatling holding up his gun and shooting it into the air. And both Garou and the kid notice,
Ah! What's that sound?
And then Death Gatling just goes, "Get out here, hero hunter." Sorry, it's just like, hold on. Literally, every single time I do a live stream. Every single time. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single time. But Death Gatling shoots into the air. I really do need to soundproof. I really do need to soundproof my door. "Get out here, hero." Death Gatling shoots into the air and goes, "Get out here, hero hunter. I'm sure you've noticed us. You must be panicked to hide in that hut. Okay, Arrow Rain, huh? 300 much? 300 was such a good movie. I'm actually really looking forward to this Spartan Warframe we're going to be getting in Warframe. That way we can live out our favorite 300 moments. "There's no time," goes Garou.
Someone's outside, old dude.
"I'm concentrating, so shut your hole." And then it cuts to Death Gatling as he aims his gun towards the hut that the kid and Garou is in. I completely forgot about this kid's name. It was started with a T, wasn't it? The kid's name isn't in here. Oh, here it is, Tario. Tario, and Death Gatling is aiming towards the hut that Tario and Garou are in, with Garou going, "Stay low, kid." And then he just drops the hero guide. And then Garou goes, "Fine, I'm coming out, so don't shoot." And then the door creaks open, and Pile Bison, and then, what is his name? It's not Pile Bison. Is it Pile Driver? Wildhorn. I forgot his name. Wildhorn says, "I can't believe he's this young." And then Garou comes out. "Please, don't shoot the hut." And then Stinger goes, "You're surprisingly obedient. You giving up? Don't be dumb. After I beat you guys, I need a comfy place to sleep." And then Wildhorn goes, "Beat us up." And then Death Gatling goes, "He's trying to rattle us. Don't fall for it, Wildhorn. You don't look well. Are you hurt?" And it shows Garou, who's literally sweating, and marks all over his face. He really is tired, though. "I'm taking you to the Association alive. In fetters, you're going to tell us your motives and co-conspirators." Your motives and co-conspirators. "What a hero you are. How kind of you not to kill me." And then Death Gatling just says, "Hardly. You won't get off easy." And then Wildhorn in the background says, "Kid, you're gonna regret playing the monster. It's time to pay the piper." And then Tario is looking through the hole that Garou made, and he's going,
Wowzers, those are heroes, and tough ones. This is a rare chance to get Death Gatling's autograph. Lucky me.
And then Garou goes, "No, you're gonna pay for claiming to be heroes. Right now." And then Garou jumps into the air and lands on the roof of the hut that Tario is in, kind of scaring him on the inside. And then Garou just looks down on them all, going, "After I bag you chumps, I'll have over 100 kills." And then Blam Blam goes, "Your goose is cooked!" And then he immediately opens fires onto where Garou is. And Garou, with his superior speed, launches off and then clings to a tree and then launches at Blam Blam. "And my first target is you!" And he launches at Blam Blam, and then something comes over the shoulder of Blam Blam's right towards Garou, and Garou barely manages to miss the spear of Stinger. And it clips him enough to the point where it causes Garou to almost lose his balance. As Stinger comes in thinking, he dodged by twisting in midair? I can't believe it. And then Garou's thinking, uh-oh, that thrust was deadly. And then something comes falling down from up above Garou, and it's the arrow rain of Shooter. Huh? Arrow rain. And it shows Garou spinning in place, narrowly dodging all of the arrows coming down from the rain attack. He reacts like he's familiar with my attacks even though I'm not well known. Be careful! He may know our moves! Those were poison arrows. If I hadn't read that guide, they might have hit me. And it shows Garou bouncing away. And then it cuts to Tario as he's looking out the hole thinking, as he's silently saying to himself,
"Why are heroes attacking that old dude? Isn't he just a normal guy? There must be some mistake."
And then Garou is still glaring at everyone going, Garou's just staring at everyone while Tario is saying,
"Why is he fighting against these odds?"
No. One of them is saying, "Why is he fighting against these odds? He fancies himself a monster." Apparently, the hero hunter is a nincompoop. Chain Toad. He defeated both Tank Top Master and Metal Bat. Do not forget what we need to do to defeat this Garou. Don't underestimate him, I'm aware of that. So I won't hold back. Here goes Chain Toad as he spins his Kusarigama around and barely manages to hit Garou. But he almost hits Garou, but Garou dodges. And then we get the giant smiling face from the weapon of Smile Man, and Garou dodges, and then he's right behind Wildhorn, who prepares his Pile Bison spike that is directly behind Garou's head. And then Garou dodges this and prepares to punch Wildhorn. But then he gets shot in the leg by Blam Blam, causing him to miss Wildhorn. And then it shows Stinger. This is a big old knockdown drag out right now. It shows Stinger trying to thrust into where Garou is, and Garou dodges away. But he still gets part of his arm and leg hit. They're centered on death gatling. When I get close, Stinger and Wildhorn will just be waiting to unleash death blows. And then it cuts to Garou running up to, what is this guy's name? The guy that was part of, the Wild Bunch. Blizzard Bunch. I'm already forgetting his name. I am so sorry. Megane. He cuts to Megane, who moves up in front of him. And as he's looking at Megane, he gets hit in the side by Chain Toad's Kusarigama. And then it shows Chain Toad bringing his the weight end of his Kusarigama up as Smile Man brings his little toy mallet in front of Garou, sending him flying backwards. Then the sickle end of Chain Toad's Kusarigama is right behind Garou, and he whips it forward in an attempt to behead Garou. I thought Death Gatling said we want to bring you into the association alive. Why do all these heroes keep going for the death blows? But Garou barely manages to dodge. You dodge by ear dabber, huh? You're no nincompoop. You've got good instincts. Then Smile Man goes, which isn't surprising because he was Silver Fang's pupil. Don't give him time to think. Then it shows Chain Toad and Smile Man launching their weapons towards Garou. As he's thinking, and Chain Toad and Smile Man constantly launch mid-range attacks. and he dodges both of their attacks while Blam Blam tries to shoot him. And Garou dodges that too. And then as he's dodging from Blam Blam's shots, Shooter uses arrow rain again where Garou is. And he's just constantly dodging around the arrows. And he backflips away from it and rights himself as Shooter goes, "Yes, I hit him! In 2 minutes the poison will immobilize him!" And then, yeah, he does in fact get hit by 2 arrows in his right shoulder by Shooter. "If I move away, Shooter and Blam Blam will open fire." And then it cuts to Megane, who's in the background. Is he picking up the arrows that Shooter missed? What has he been doing? And then it cuts to Megane going, "Shooter, take this quiver. Thanks for the resupply." "He's a helper, huh? He always keeps a set distance. In that case, I'll use you as a shield." So much background noise. Megane looks like Gohan. Yeah, he kind of does look like Gohan a little bit. No wonder he looks so familiar. He's got the glasses, the tracksuit, the unassuming appearance. Wow, he really does look like Gohan. How did I not notice? "In that case, I'll use you as a shield." And then it cuts to Megane it shows Megane launching into the air away from Garou. "I won't let you get away." And then it shows Megane throwing some stones at him. "Throwing stones now? How annoying. Ugh. Hold still, small fry." And then it cuts to Blam Blam behind Garou as he's thinking, "Uh-oh, if I turn my back, he'll start shooting." And then it cuts to Megane, who's directly in front of Garou and actually lands a punch on Garou's face. "This guy's got moves. He's no mere small fry." And then Megane goes, "More like I won't let you get away. My role is lending support and going in pursuit if you flee. I can keep up with you when it comes to stamina or tenacity, even in a long fight, but exhaustion, blood loss, and poison are likely to keep this short." And then Garou just kind of looks dumbfounded. "Whoops, he may be weak, but I should avoid physical contact. Close combat is for these two, as Wildhorn and Stinger getting close." And then it cuts to Garou. "They're closing in, and I lack the strength to dart past. In my condition, I can't dodge bullets, arrows, sickles, and giant toys, and I can't think clearly." And then Garou just stops thinking. And then he's just standing there surrounded by all of these heroes. And then cuts to Death Gatling as he goes, "This is your last chance to surrender. My muzzle follows your every move. If you had threatened anyone's life, I'd have opened fire. Anytime I want, I can turn you into mincemeat." Okay, OBS kind of went offline for a quick second, so let me go back to what Death Gatling was saying. "This is your last chance to surrender. My muzzle follows your every move. If you had threatened anyone's life, I'd have opened fire. Anytime I want, I can turn you into mincemeat." And Garou just stares at him. "Surprise? Well, that's tough luck. Everyone here is an elite hero who has survived life or death crises. I only brought fighters whom I respect, and I did it to hunt you." And Tario just looks surprised, sweating bullets from inside the hut. And then Garou goes, "Elite, you say? Does anyone else find that funny? Where are the Class S heroes? Doesn't the Hero Association recognize the threat I pose? I'm a monster practically begging for a fight, so it's a letdown to tussle with this variety pack of second-raters." Oh, so you're obsessed with Class S heroes too? And then Death Gatling goes, oh, so you're obsessed with Class S heroes too, huh? They're immensely popular, and the association treats them like royalty. They even receive top secret briefings that we don't. We're all heroes, so why the different treatment? Comes in Death Gatling. Ooh, so they have issues with Class S as well. The ranking system creates a hierarchy, and many heroes of merit remain unrecognized. Class S heroes specialize in battle, so they get the spotlight whenever there's an increased threat from monsters. I'm going to show the world that Class S heroes aren't so superior. So someone like you, who has defeated Class S heroes and attracted attention, is the perfect target for us. And then it cuts to Garou going, in other words, you didn't include any Class S heroes in order to gain more attention for yourself. A child would be disappointed to hear that. And then it cuts to Garou as he's thinking internally, I'm having trouble breathing, and I'm getting dizzy. Is that the poison kicking in? With the Monster Association stirring up trouble, can you afford to focus only on me? Shouldn't you rescue the hostage first? And then Death Gatling simply says, the Monster Association is next. We intend to frustrate their plans too. And then it cuts to Garou having like an inner monologue as he goes, these jokers are just steps I'm climbing on my way to becoming a real monster. I refuse to back down. I will tread on each one of you as I ascend. And that's the end of Punch 81. I told you, these are some long chapters. Punch 82, depleted. And then it shows sound effects happening as it shows Garou dodging all these attacks from Smile Man, Chain Toad, and Shooter. With Death Gatling going, the poison should be taking effect. I doubt he'll last much longer. And then it cuts to Garou as he's huffing and puffing, blood all over his face, those arrows still in his shoulder. And then it's cutting to a flashback of a young Garou with some kids, apparently.
Did you see Justice Man yesterday? Yeah, he unveiled a new move, Justice Fire Kick. That was so cool. The way Grab Demon died was hilarious, and its reaction when Justice Man wouldn't spare its horde of eggs.
And then, apparently, it cuts to Garou as he goes,
but Crab Demon almost survived. If lightning hadn't fallen at just the wrong time, Crab Demon would have beaten Justice Man. Mock Woman and Little Justice were there too, so it was 3 against 1. But the fight was practically even. Isn't that cool? Huh? Why are you rooting for Crab Demon? Because he just wanted to reclaim the beautiful sea. He fought all alone against the military and Justice Man to protect it. If he had just been a little stronger, he would have won.
So this is like young Garou, like he was really into the monsters winning.
He must have been so disappointed.
And then it cuts to Garou as he's standing there huffing and puffing in a single spread panel here on this page. Also, if you guys want to read what I'm reading, go to the official site on Viz Shonen Jump site or the website of your choice. But like I always say, support the official release. Probably should have said that 30 minutes ago, but you know. But it cuts to Garou huffing and puffing, but he has a mad look on his face. And then he blows out of breath, and then he kind of staggers, and then Chain Toad swings his Kusarigama at him going, no! Ankle noose! And wraps his chain around the leg of Garou. And then Smile Man comes up behind Garou and goes, Earth Rotation of Doom! And then Garou slams his foot on the ground. As Chain Toad goes, what the? And Garou starts spinning. And then with a single hand movement, redirects the Earth Rotation of Doom from Smile Man and redirects it at Chain Toad. Besides One Piece world, which anime world would I want to live in? That's a toughie. There's a lot of good ones, but there's a lot of them where it's just danger all the time. My Hero Academia would be an interesting one. Yeah, the My Hero Academia world might be an interesting one I would like to live in. Not Dragon Ball, because the Earth gets blown up every few seconds, so I kind of wouldn't want to live on a place where my life insurance could literally go up every single time Goku goes off planet. So, and I probably wouldn't want to live in the Jujutsu world because of, well, with the Shibuya incident that I'm reading through right now, a lot of people died. So I don't know. Maybe the Bleach world. Nothing really bad happens to the normal people in the Bleach world except for people who have, like, spiritual powers. That's a tough one. And I definitely wouldn't want to live in the One Punch Man world because entire cities get destroyed every volume. So it's kind of a toughie. I'll have to get back to you on that, Psycho. Once I'm playing Breath of the Wild later today, we can discuss that a little bit more. But it's kind of hard to decide. Every single anime world is dangerous. Except for the slice of life anime worlds. Every other anime world is just straight up dangerous. But Garou redirects Smile Man's attack and deflects it towards Chain Toad Man. Chain Toad, as Chain Toad goes, "He's strong!" And then the wheel goes, the big smiley face ball goes careening into Chain Toad, knocking him down. And then Smile Man goes, "Chain Toad!" And as Smile Man is pulling back his kendama ball, Garou snaps the string in half with him going, "Uh-oh, he broke my kendama string!" And then something hits Garou near the head, but he uses the kusarigama he stole from Chain Toad to deflect it, with Blam Blam going, "Now that varmint has got his mitts on a blade!" And then Garou, hiding behind the smiley face of the kendama, goes, "Can't I have a weapon too? Doesn't seem fair if you can and I can't." Then it shows Garou breathing out again, and then putting his fingertips on the smiley face ball with an incredibly forceful shove, so much that he kind of breaks the ground underneath him with the shove. He sends the smiley face going straight towards Blam Blam as he goes, "What the dang it!" And then he gets hit by the smiley face as well, with Smile Man saying, "It'll bounce back, watch out!" as it bounces onto a tree, and then Wildhorn goes, "I'll handle it, Pile Bison!" And then with his Pile Bison, he breaks the smiley face of Smile Man. And as it's shattering apart, it shows Garou in the midst of it breaking apart, directly in front of Wildhorn. In a very... I like how they did this double spread panel here, whereas it shows Garou directly in front of Wildhorn while his Pile Bison is still going. Like, you see, I like how they do, like, the aperture of the focus. Like, some rocks are really fuzzy up close, but then it shows more focus in front of Garou and Wildhorn. I like the aesthetic. Then Megane goes, "Run, Wildhorn!" "My feet! When did this happen? When did that happen?" And it shows that Wildhorn's legs were wrapped up in the chain of Chain Toad's kusarigama. And then he grabs Wildhorn and then holds him over his head as numerous arrows rain down and hit Wildhorn all over his body. "He's using Wildhorn's armor as a shield," goes Shooter, "and he's figured out the timing of my arrow rain." And then it shows Megane coming in going, "But from the front, he's wide open." And it shows Garou deflecting all of these moves, all of these punches of Megane with one hand while he's still holding up... Well, actually, it's not punches. He threw rocks at him. And Garou caught every single one of them as he goes, "Yeah, these are just what I wanted." As it shows Arrow preparing to aim at Garou behind him, with Wildhorn going, "Ah, put me down!" And then Garou, with one motion, throws those 4 stones that Megane had in his hands and hits hits Shooter directly all over his body with those 4 stones. Then Stinger comes in. It's a massacre right now. Stinger comes in going, "Sing! Bamboo shoot!" And then Garou takes the body of Wildhorn and slams it into the ground in front of him, causing gigantic... Before Stinger can even finish this move, he sees Wildhorn in front of him, and then it cuts to the images of Chain Toad, Blam Blam, and Shooter all knocked down, with Garou standing behind Wildhorn going, "Only half of you left," goes Stinger. And then cuts to Smile Man and Death Gatling, as Smile Man goes, "Death Gatling, it won't be funny if we try to take him alive but get wiped out. Catch my drift?" "Yes, that is the fate he has chosen." And then as Garou looks at him, Garou immediately dashes past Megane, and Megane goes, "How can he still move that fast? He's been shot in the leg, and the poison arrows should be working by now. He should be severely weakened, but now we're on the ropes. He really doesn't seem human." "Stinger! Let's go one-on-one!" And then Stinger just goes, "Huh? Bring it on! He has challenged me! Stay out of this, Death Gatling!" And then Smile Man just goes, "You fool, don't accept it. The 4 of us should..." And then Death Gatling just goes, in his head, "When he comes for Stinger, I'll fill him full of holes." And it shows Garou running towards Stinger, and Stinger preparing to jab into him. And then as he's running towards Stinger, he jabs his hand into the ground, and then pulls up entire tree roots underneath the legs of pretty much all the heroes that are in front of him. And they come up right underneath them. These must be some strong tree roots for them not to break getting pulled up like this. But they erupt from the ground, and it causes everyone to lose their balance. And as Smile Man is looking at what's going on, Garou kicks him in the face and sends Smile Man flying. "You're as dumb as your reputation, Stinger. Thanks." And then Death Gatling goes, "You, out of the way, I'll handle this. Garou is in no condition to evade my fire. I'll end him in 10 seconds. And as his gun starts spinning, Garou looks on, and then it cuts to Tario, and then it cuts to Death Gatling as he opens fire on Garou. And Garou manages to dodge away as Death Gatling is shooting, and he pretty much just blows away all of the trees that were in his path. He just shoots it. The rounds are big enough to leave giant holes in the tree trunks, and some are big enough to cause the tree trunks to be completely obliterated, sending the upper halves of the trees just flying into the air. It's a highly destructive attack going on. And then it just shows Death Gatling constantly firing over and over and over again. It's just a montage of Garou running and Death Gatling firing. And then Megane looks as Garou is apparently heading in his direction, with Death Gatling going, "He's headed your way, Megane! Don't let him get close!" And then it shows Garou catching up and keeping pace with Megane, as Megane goes, "I can't shake him." And then Death Gatling looks on and is kind of surprised as he goes, "That jerk is following Megane, so I don't have a clean shot. I can't shoot." As Garou is literally using Megane as a human shield. And Garou just goes, "Hey, what's the matter? You wanted to get cozy before, but now you want to get away and leave me lonely?" And then he barrages Megane with a whole bunch of blows, and he immediately breaks his glasses. He just breaks Megane down. Now that our formation has crumbled, am I just a hindrance? As he constantly gets barraged by punches by Garou. And then Megane braces himself and goes, "If I'm going to be your shield, I might as well fight you head on!" And then before Megane can do anything, Garou just plants a fist directly in his face. Not on his face, in his face. His face just folds in. "That's the spirit. Good luck with that. You're confident in your stamina, right?" And then it cuts to Stinger, who's still not touched. Like Death Gatling and Stinger are still the only ones who have not been really touched during this whole fight. Garou is just toying with him. "Hey, that's cruel!" "Chill out, Stinger. You're next, so wait quietly." And then Death Gatling goes, "It's a trap, Stinger." Coiz, good to see you. We are on Punch 82 of Volume 16. So much progress is being made. I'm enjoying it thus far. Death Gatling goes, "It's a trap, Stinger. He's toying with Megane to draw you in." And then Stinger just goes, "But I can't just watch. This time I'll nail him." Stinger will fall too, but Garou is running out of strength. So we will win in the end. And then it shows Stinger coming up right in front of Garou with gigantic drill stinger. And then Garou, with his hand movements, deflects the attack away from him, and then with one simple palm thrust, hits Stinger directly in the chin. And then with another flurry of movements, barrages Stinger's entire midsection with punches. And then Megane can only look on in the background, and he tries to raise his hand to punch Garou, and Garou, with one swift elbow, sends Megane flying backwards into a tree with enough force to make his glasses fall off and cause blood to fly out of his mouth. And both Megane and Stinger fall to the ground, as the only one left is Death Gatling. And then Death Gatling is the one that says, "You let go of your shield." Hope you are well. Have not read One Punch Man from the bottom up in a really long time. Considering it now, seeing you do this. Oh, don't worry. If you want to catch up on the series, then I got entire streams dedicated to me reading every single volume. And I'm doing that until I fully catch up with One Punch Man, and then I'll start doing reactions on singular chapters. But yeah, I feel like it's been far too long for me to do this, because I did promise I was going to do this. I was going to do this, Jujutsu, and I also said that Dragon Ball Super is on my list as well, because a lot of things are happening in Dragon Ball Super, and I don't want to be left out of the loop. So I'm working on adding all those other series to the channel as well. But Death Gatling goes, "You let go of your shield, but we gave up on taking you alive. You're no longer human. There's no one else for you to drag into this. So it's over, you monster." And then Garou just goes, "There's a kid in the hut. If you shoot, you'll kill him." And then Death Gatling Garou goes, "There's a kid in the hut. If you shoot, you'll kill him." And then Death Gatling goes, "Is that all you've got? Stinger is one thing, but that bluff won't fool me." And then Garou kind of shakes a little bit as Tario is watching, as he screams out, "Watch now as a monster is victorious!" As his whole body flexes and tenses up. And then Death Gatling simply goes, "Justice will be victorious. Now die. Death shower." And the face of Death Gatling changes to that of a skull. Like, I guess this is like the meta image of his face. But it just shows his face turning into a skull as the entire page fills with muzzle flashes from his Gatling gun. And then Garou looks on, and then he starts moving his arms in front of him, as the entire page is just enveloped in shots. So many shots are being thrown, so many shots are being fired at Garou that it's cutting through leaves as they're falling through the air. And it just surrounds him like it's all over. Think of Xemnas' sphere laser attack in Kingdom Hearts 2 when Riku and Sora are fighting him, and it's just a countless amount of lasers that you have to completely dodge all over. Think that, but Garou, and he's using all the moves he can in order to deflect all of them, apparently. And the way he's deflecting it is keeping the shots from actually hitting the hut. And as this is going on, we see the fists of Garou moving at a speed that is literally deflecting every single shot. Remember, Death Gatling has a literal Gatling gun for his left arm, and it goes at massive speeds. I mean, it's a Gatling gun. They have massive RPMs, and Garou is deflecting every single shot away from the hut. And, well, some of them are actually hitting the hut a little bit, but the ones that are in the area that the kid is in, those are not getting hit. The ones that are directly in front of Garou is not getting hit. He's not actually deflecting every single one of them because some shots are actually hitting the hut a little bit, but he's deflecting the mass majority of them. And Death Gatling just looks on and goes, "Why?" And it shows Garou in this, this is a threatening panel, in a double spread panel holding his fist up, and it's just covered in blood, and the smoke is clearing around him. And then Death Gatling is going, "Why can't I hit him?" And it shows that Death Gatling has stopped firing, and Garou has completely protected the entire front of the hut. Everything around Garou's vicinity has been destroyed, except for the area that he was deflecting those shots from. And Garou's hand just falls to his side, dripping, as Garou goes, "What a ridiculous spray of bullets. I know your stance is all bluff now. Death Shower drastically accelerates the rotation of your barrels and empties your ammo. Am I right?" And then Death Gatling goes, "Was he just provoking me too? That move turns monsters into mincemeat, but that didn't happen to me." "Thanks. You just proved firearms can't beat me." "Having trouble believing this?" "Too bad, you stooges. Cooperation was working for you, but you were nothing one-on-one. Looks like you should have called some Class S heroes. Even one of them would have made this go differently." And then it shows Death Gatling just taking out a knife. "Class S heroes. So the rest of us are just the B team? We are heroes who expend our lives in battle. Look at me! The Class A hero Death Gatling has cornered the hero hunter." And then Garou just goes, "You're jaded. Enough yapping about heroes. If it's so hard, then quit already." And then Death Gatling, I was about to call him Geth Datling. Death Gatling just goes, "I'm going to teach you the value of our existence. I don't care about you, filthy." And then Garou hits Death Gatling directly in the face and breaks his Gatling arm in the process and goes, "I don't care about you, filthy heroes. The one most preoccupied with ranks is you, and it's pathetic!" And he punches away Death Gatling, sending him flying, while also breaking his Gatling gun in the process. And then, when it was snapped off his arm, he stomps on it, breaking it even further. And then it just shows Garou standing there with those arrows still in his arm, going, "Pathetic." And then Tario is behind him, little kid from before, and he goes,
Hey, old dude.
and then it shows Garou standing, staring at Tario, and he looks at him, but it just makes Garou look like a monster as Garou goes, "Oh, you're still alive." And then Tario is looking scared at Garou, and then he looks at all the heroes, every single one that's knocked out, even Wildhorn, whose body is still planted in the ground. He's looking at every defeated hero that Garou just took down. And he just goes,
Yikes! Someone help!
and then Garou just goes, "Hey." And then the Tario just runs away from him. And then Garou just takes the arrows and rips it out of his back. And now, mind you, these are arrows that have pointed edges that are pointed backwards, which means that if they get into your flesh, if you try and pull them out, they're still jabbing into your skin. They're like kind of backwardsly barbed. I don't know the correct term to call it because I'm not a marksman. But he just rips them out of his shoulder, despite them being like the kind you just can't simply take out. He throws them on the ground. And then he says, "I should treat my wounds." And then it causes him to he's staggering a little bit and he's bleeding from his shoulder. "Water. Definitely need a drink of water first." And then, your acting is awesome. I could never. It's what makes these volumes and this whole session come alive, Coiz. It's what I love to do. But before he can even move, an explosion happens behind him. And then we get someone Ooh, I think I reached the point where season 2 of the anime stopped. We get someone coming in right behind Garou, landing in a massive explosion as he goes, I came in response to a request for backup, coming from his transmitter. And apparently it was Megane who was signaling this individual. You appear to be the hero hunter, so I am going to exterminate you. Who is the one who appeared behind Garou in response to Megane's calling with his transmitter? Nobody else but Demon Cyborg Genos! Genos is here!
Ooh, boy!
And that's the end of Punch 82. Onwards to Punch 83, Cruel Steps. And then it just shows season 2 ended with the big centipede. Did it? Okay, so then I kind of left off then. Okay, I still got some ways to go. It shows Genos. Clashing with Garou. Especially with the new body that Dr. Kusuno gave him after he got beaten by Roach Awakened. It shows Genos going after Garou, and Garou plants himself in front of Megane as Genos is preparing to fire. And as he notices he's in front of Megane, he switches from trying to blast him into a clenched fist, and then uses machine gun blows, and proceeds to hit Genos, and proceeds to hit Garou all over. I need to minimize my movement. And it shows Genos hitting him in the face and in the side. He's hitting him all over. I can't dodge. And then he goes, Fist of Flowing Water, Crush Rock! And he tries to use it against Genos, but Genos dodges it and then prepares to punch Garou using like a booster in his elbow to, speed him up. And as Garou sees this, Garou uses his leg to deflect it. And as Garou uses his leg to deflect it, Garou brings his other leg to the back of Genos' head and tries to knee him into the ground. Well, he actually does knee him into the ground and plants Genos into the ground as he goes, Die! Then there's a light that comes up from underground, and Garou manages to narrowly dodge a massive blast that erupts from the ground. And apparently Genos had his hand prepared to blast from underneath the ground when Garou tried to hit him. You tricky devil. You lured me in to blast me from underneath. And then Genos, using boosters on his back, just gets back up like Undertaker levels of... just gets back up that way. And he just stares at him. And Genos thinks he dodged by using a leg move with Fist of Flowing Water. This man is using everything he has just to dodge. He's barely holding on to his life, but he's still seeking an opening to strike. Now I understand why the other heroes had so much trouble against him. And it shows all the wrappings and all the bandages that Garou had around his body before he starts taking off the bandages. You would think you would not do that due to, you're not healing and everything, but yeah. Apparently, Garou's ready to fight. Even Genos. And then we cut to an apartment building with Saitama and King. They're still playing the fighting game. Awesome. I'm gonna win this. King, your HP gauge is almost down to 0. Am I finally stronger than you? Still resisting, huh? Wait, I should calm down. One more punch and I'll win. A comeback is unthinkable. There's no way you can... Boom. KO! And then it cuts to Saitama just burying his head into the ground as King has beaten Saitama again. And King just goes, How did that feel? I let you think it was a close match. Was it fun? I can't let you win, but I'll allow this much. Saitama, the way you move is too simple. You just mash buttons. I could beat you with my eyes closed. Now you're 0 for 81. I'll lend you my console. You should practice. And Saitama's getting more and more upset as King is talking to him, as he's saying angrily to himself, Video games sure are stressful. And then King goes, "If you win someday, you'll feel better, but don't break my console." And then a beeping goes off in King's chest pocket. Something's beeping. What is that? "Oh, this? It's been in my pocket since I got it. Some heroes received them recently, but it's just a prototype. It's a device for summoning backup and relaying locations. There isn't much detail this time, so maybe the hero could only hit the emergency button." You can picture me being a voice for an anime manga type? Well, I would like to be a voice actor one day, in an official capacity. And then Saitama says, "What? A monster? I'll go punch its lights out!" Another notice says a Class S hero is already on the job. "It'll be over by the time you get there. The police haven't issued a monster warning either." And then Saitama, disappointed, just falls to the ground. "By the way, it's scary how many dead monsters are outside your apartment, and it isn't sanitary." Yeah, I'll have Genos incinerate them later. Why do so many monsters show up around here? That's why no one lives in this area. If more monsters appear in cities like this, in other cities... Oh, manga tapes. If more monsters appear in other cities like they did yesterday, there will be more deserted places like this. And then King goes, "Where's Genos anyway?" "He hasn't been back since yesterday." "Huh? Is he all right? Now that the Monster Association has appeared, maybe he got beat up yesterday." And then he's just thinking of Genos and going, "I'm sure Genos is fine." And then he thinks of all the times that Genos has been beaten, including that one moment when he was going up against Roach Awakened, and he thinks of Genos' broken body then. And then he goes, "No, I should go. King, tell me where that alert came from." Then it cuts to Genos and Garou as that fight continues, with Garou thinking, "He's strong, and in addition to amazing speed, he's as powerful as Tank Top Master, and he didn't hesitate to use his heat cannon. In my current condition, he's a frightening opponent. I can barely see, and my feet." And it shows Garou kind of staggering a little bit as he's walking away, with Genos saying, "Give up. You cannot escape me like that." And then he thinks back to his time with Watchdog Man. "That's it. Remember how he moved." And then he tries to copy the movements of Watchdog Man and proceeds to jump all around Genos. And he proceeds to move on all fours, just like Watchdog Man. And this surprises Genos. He's moving differently now. He's on all fours. And then it shows Garou directly next to Genos as he grabs hold of Genos' arm as he goes, "Shake!" and then launches off and kicks away from Genos, taking his arm in the process as he goes, "I've always been good with high-tech machinery, especially with destroying it." Ow, I bit my tongue. Ah. But as Garou is jumping away with Genos' arm grabs him by the throat. And this surprises Garou as he goes, "What?" And then the boosters in his arm hold on to Garou and send him careening into a nearby tree. Then tendrils come out from the outside of his arm and wraps Garou and binds him to a tree. And then Genos just goes, "It is no use." And then Garou just goes, "One after the other. You heroes are paying attention to me. I'm thrilled to be so popular. The world," and then Genos just goes, "The world is confused right now. A nefarious organization of monsters threatens the peace. The Hero Association must unite to combat it. To waste our time on a small-time player, so we can't afford to waste our time on a small-time player like you." And then Genos just goes, "Get that into your head and go away." And then as it shows Genos preparing to blast Garou, he goes, "Small time? Me? Then help me out, Demon Cyborg. If I beat you, the world will fear me more." And then it shows Genos blasting towards where Garou is. And then Garou is bracing his feet against the tree and using all of his strength, he sends his strength into the tree, causing the tree he's binded to snap in half from the pressure. As Genos tries to blast him, and Genos ends up blasting the upper part of the tree that he's binded to, leaving only the part that Garou is a part of to come off. And then Genos jumps away from the upper half of the tree as he's standing there looking at Garou snap through all of the bindings that's binding him to the tree. And then it shows Garou's hair color has changed. And he's just, what? Wait, his hair color isn't white? It shows Garou scratching through his hair, and his hair color has changed. What? What just happened to Garou? Garou's hair color completely changed, and his other eye changed color as well as he goes, "The Monster Association is nothing, and I can beat any hero, because I'm the strongest monster. You can tell everyone that I'm here." And then Genos, calling his arm back, goes, "No one like that exists." And then it cuts to something on the ground going, "Now!" And then an explosion happens as numerous monsters pop up out of the ground as they go, "Back up the hero hunter! You got it!" As numerous heroes come up behind Genos. And they all trying to gang up on him. "What the?" goes Garou. And then it cuts to a monster behind Garou as one goes,
"We're from the Monster Association. Garou, we have come to welcome you. You're in a pinch."
"Ah, I keep biting my tongue! Ah!" We're almost done.
"You're in a pinch, right? So we'll help you. You impressed our boss, so he extends an invitation for you to join our upper ranks. Isn't that nice?"
"You goons again. I don't need you, so scram."
"Sorry, we can't do that. After all, we've got orders."
And then it cuts to some monsters going, "Oh, gah!" And this flower monster is looking surprised as it shows numerous body parts flying towards where Garou and this flower monster is. And then Genos, in one swift action that Garou dodges, cuts through the last monster that's behind Garou as he goes, "No way!" Because he has like an arm blade. This reminds me of Cars from JoJo, where he had like a blade come out of his arm. But Genos has pretty much killed all the monsters that came to back up Genos as he goes, "The hero hunter is connected to the Monster Association? I lost yesterday, but I learned that many monsters are tougher than I expect. Thus, I must keep my guard up. And today I am stronger than yesterday." As the blade pops up back into Genos' arm. Then more monsters come out of the hole that was made as they're looking at all the body parts as they're looking at Genos and all the dead monsters in front of them. And then Genos continues as he goes, "Whatever threat may appear, I am ready to meet it. Master Saitama told me to train for the heights of herodom, and I feel I have made progress. A surprise attack like this will not defeat me." Master Saitama. He can beat any monster, for he is the strongest hero. Incinerate. As it shows Genos preparing to blast Garou, Garou gets kicked from the side by Bang. Bang showed up. What? Bang. "Genos, do you mind if we handle this?" Bang just showed up along with Bomb as he goes, "Genos, do you mind if we handle this?" And then a two-eyed Cyclops? I wouldn't call it a Cyclops because it has two eyes, but they're on top of each other. It tries to hit Bang, but Bomb comes in and uses Feast of Flowing Wind, Slashing Steel, and using this martial art just completely destroys this this Biclops. I want to call it a Biclops. Yeah, Biclops. That's what you call it. And with this swift swirl, this
Fist of whirling wind slashing steel.
this circular martial arts move cuts apart this Biclops in circular pieces. As if, okay, so you know how people like cut bread and they cut it in like a swirl motion? The whole body of the monster is like hollowed out in chunks and like circular chunks through one swirling hand move. Like the whole body just flies backwards. He cut this dude apart. And it just shows the monster falling to the ground in chunks, with Bomb going,
Bang! Leave the monsters from the holds to me. You take out Garou.
and then Bang just goes,
Thank you, older brother. Now then, long time no see, Garou.
and then Garou is just on the ground in front of Bang, and Bang is just right in front of him.
That voice.
And seeing as how Garou's vision is already blurred right now from all this fighting, he can't even make out that it's Bang in front of him, but he recognizes the voice.
Look who's here, the annoying old fart.
And then Bang goes,
You're a wreck. I will finish this, so bring it on.
and then Garou is literally struggling to stand up, and as he brings his hands up, he snaps his hands in preparation, but blood just flies from his fingers, and then he readies himself with a bunch of different preparation martial arts stances, and then Bang does the same and prepares himself. And then it shows multiple. There's nothing being said as master versus former student are preparing to fight each other, and Garou standing in front of Bang, and then Bang is just looking at him. Then there's silence, and then it shows Garou launching at Bang, and then we get the words,
Fists of flowing water, crushed rock.
and then Garou is just absolutely demolished. Like you see the indentions. Oh my goodness! This is the reason why you do not mess with old dudes in animes and manga. They will mess you up. Garou launches at Bang, and all we see in this one full spread panel is just the indentions left all over Garou's body from Bang. And all you see is like bam, 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 bam. It's just all over his body. And that's the end of Punch 83, onwards to the last punch, and then the bonus manga at the end, Punch 84, Escalation. And it just shows Garou just getting broken down, like Bang is just barbecuing them ribs, just like, bam, bam, bob, weave, boom. Like, you know how that one guy from YouTube who does all the analyzing of like fight scenes and different stuff, like he's just like, bob, weave, boop, boop, boom. Like, he's just smoking Genos right now. He's just, them ribs are getting barbecued, and it just shows him constantly getting barraged over and over and over again. And Garou is screaming out while he's getting hit, and Bang is just flowing through all of this, and they're clashing with one another. And it shows that this is nothing to Bang. This is nothing to Bang. He's clashing with Garou, but Garou is not landing any hits. Every time Garou tries to hit it, Bang dodges it and deflects it, and then responds by barraging Garou with more hits. And then Genos is just watching all of this go on as he goes, Bang's movements blend perfect offense and defense. He has a far superior command of Fist of Flowing Water Crush Rock. This fight is over. And then it shows that Garou is being overpowered by these moves from Bang. And then Garou gets sent flying backwards, skidding across the ground. And as it looks like he's whipped backwards with more blood coming out of his face, Bang goes in, but Garou grabs Bang by the wrists. And then Garou screams out as he prepares to kick Bang while holding onto his legs. But Bang, without a single wasted movement, winds up kicking Garou in the face with his own knee. He wanted to... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is the reason why you don't fight old guys in manga and anime. This is the reason why you don't fight them. But yeah, Bang just knees Garou in the face so hard, sending him into the air, and then it shows Bang just... Yo, Bang is not letting this guy get up. He's grabbing him by the neck and then flipping him over, and then as he's twirling in the air, he's kicking him across several trees, and then while Garou is on the ground, Bang is up in the air, and he's preparing to hit Garou, and Garou manages to barely manage to block the blow, but the force of the blow craters where Garou is in. Like, Bang lands on top of Garou, and the force of the blow just implodes the entire ground they're on. Like, it always comes in twos, those sneezes. My apologies. It craters the entire ground that they're in. I don't know why Kenzo's barking. I was just sneezing in my room. And Garou's thinking, what the... This isn't like the old fart. He's in a frenzy. Uh-oh, I'm losing consciousness. Or maybe I'm dying. And it shows Garou grab a fistful of dirt, and in desperation, he throws it up in the face of Bang, and Bang blocks it. And before Bang can hit him, Garou launches himself away. And then Bang just goes, "Where did you learn such odd moves? You have become an animal." And then Garou's thinking, this isn't over yet. If I take a fallen hero as a hostage, I can survive this. And then before he can get, because he's looking at Death Gatling, and he's aiming for him to have him as a human shield. But before he can even get to Death Gatling, Bomb pops up right next to Garou and goes, "I will not allow that." And proceeds to knee and kick away Garou before he can get any further, and sends him flying. And then Garou winds up hitting a monster that's beside him. And that monster and all the monsters that are around him get sliced up by Bomb, apparently. Like, they all get sliced apart. So if he was hoping to get any help from them, or if they were hoping to help out Garou, they immediately get killed before Garou can fully right himself. And then Bomb just goes, no, was that Genos? No, that was Bomb. Bomb goes, "Bang, I finished off the monsters from the hole. All that remains is Garou." And then it shows Genos standing near the hole with his arm blades out, so he pretty much sliced through a ton of monsters as well. And Genos is thinking, my sensors still detect the monstrous presence, but I cannot determine the number or location. Does that hole lead to the Monsters Association's hideout? And then it cuts to Garou as he's crawling amidst the entrails of the monsters that were killed, as he thinks, they defeated the other monsters? Then they were useless. And then there's something over the head of Genos, and it's Phoenix Man. And it's Phoenix Man watching all this go on. And he's thinking, I sent in enough monsters to take Garou alive, but Demon Cyborg is stronger than I expected. And with Silver Fang there, we'll never get away with our prize. I bit my tongue again. My goodness. Ow. And with Silver Fang there, we'll never get away with our prize. But if my troops meet defeat for no gain, Orochi will eat me. I need Garou to survive this on his own. How disappointing. Maybe I should start thinking about leaving the association. And then it cuts to Bang as he says, Big bro, if you were to suffer such injury, would you still be able to stand? And then Bomb goes, 60 years ago I could have handled it. Maybe. Come on, just a little longer. Let's finish this before more heroes arrive. And then it shows Bang and Bomb both coming up against Garou at the same time, and he's doing his best to try and deflect the blows, and he's getting launched back as he's thinking, my arm doesn't work anymore. I was that old fart's top student. How cruel of him to thrash me when I'm weak. And the old foggy with him is Bomb. He's a master of fist of whirling wind slashing steel. Don't these two martial arts magnates have any shame in ganging up on me? Even if I begged them to spare my life, Demon Cyborg would never let me go. The only way for me to survive is to kill all three of them. And that's impossible, he thinks as Bang proceeds to plant his foot directly in Garou's face. And then Garou goes, Garou, I will make you pay for what you did to my top pupil Charanko. And that's the last thing we get from these official chapters is Bang shouting out that he's gonna make you pay for, I will make you pay for what you did to my top pupil Charanko. And that is the end of Punch 84. Onwards to the bonus manga, and then we can call Volume 16 a close. Next time, 100% will be in uncharted territory. Oh, I can't wait. I'm loving this series. But onwards to the bonus manga for today. Bonus manga, Growth Process. And it cuts to some people robbing a cashier person. As they're going, empty the cash register, make it fast. And then we got someone saying, hey, both of you, throw down your knives. And it's Megane. Yowie, yowie, yowie. One ran off. Call the police, kid. And then it cuts to the other one running out of the convenience store with the knife still in hand. Yeah, out of the way. And before he gets out, he gets grabbed by someone who proceeds to chokeslam him onto the ground. And then it cuts to Eyelashes from the Blizzard Bunch as he goes, Hey, aren't you Megane? Eyelashes. Here, my treat. And it cuts to them in a park. When you quit the Blizzard Bunch, I figured you'd quit the business altogether, but you seem to be quite active. Yeah, it isn't going well, though. Don't give me that. You've been doing great on your own. You shot up to Class B rank 20 in no time, even though you used to be stupid and clumsy. And then it cuts to Eyelashes suddenly trying to kick in the direction of Megane, and Megane blocks it. I've never seen anyone improve so fast. Tell me, what's your secret? No secret. You're still stronger than me. I lack knowledge, experience, and decisiveness. Only one thing about me has actually changed. I'm firmer of will. And then he drinks the drink that Eyelashes gave him and goes, I've decided I have no limits. And then there's an explosion sound in the distance as Megane goes, An explosion? Is it a monster? It sounds bad. I'll call Ms. Blizzard. She'll assemble the crew. And then Megane is trying to go towards it, and he goes, just wait here. Let the Blizzard Bunch handle this. You can't beat it alone. And then as he grabs on to the sleeve of Megane, he pulls it back to reveal that there are numerous scars on his arms that weren't there before. And this surprises Eyelashes as Megane goes, Eyelashes, I'm still struggling. I'm making progress, but I don't intend to stop. Thanks for the coffee. We may walk different paths now, but let's both keep working hard. And then it shows Megane running off. And then it cuts to Eyelashes going, being reckless isn't hard work. You'll get killed. In the Blizzard Bunch, you can avoid serious injuries. Idiot. Then he gets on the phone and he goes, huh? Hello? Miss Blizzard. No, I was just talking to myself. That's right. A monster. Uh-huh. I'm nearby. Are any heroes on the move? Yeah. One Class B hero. I have to admit, I'm a little jealous. As it shows Megane running off into the distance. All because of that conversation that Megane had with Saitama in that other bonus manga I read a couple of volumes ago. He is now following his own path and is starting to get stronger simply because of his interaction with Saitama. Man, I'm so glad that they give us these bonus mangas so we can understand these characters better, because sometimes the anime doesn't touch on the bonus manga content, which thus leaves us wanting more about a person's characteristics in this series. But I'm glad I'm able to read these bonus mangas. But at the end of these volumes, because they have a lot more information than the anime could never tell us. But that is the end of Volume 16 of One Punch Man, everyone. Took me about a good hour and 21 minutes before an hour and 30 minutes of me getting through this, and I have to say, I enjoyed every single second. I am getting closer. I feel like the last time the anime dropped off for One Punch Man, it was when Saitama was facing off against the Centipede, but we haven't reached that point yet. So I feel that we are. It's just that it's been so long since I've seen Season 2, I don't know how the storyline went, so I kind of forgot. Because I'm now starting to remember that interaction between Saitama and the Centipede, but not the story leading up to it, so we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it next week. Join me tomorrow as we continue with Jujutsu Kaisen. I am almost caught up with my physical volumes. Tomorrow will be the reading of Volume 15 of Jujutsu, and then after that will be Volume 16, which is the last physical volume that is available right now, which means that after that, I'm going to have a massive stream blowout where I read all the chapters at that point. Hold on. Thought I heard something. But we're almost caught up. I'm almost caught up with the physical volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen, so that's going well. Join me later today as we continue with more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And Breath of the Wild is next. Yes, just give me a little bit of time. I'll probably schedule it at 2 o'clock in order for me to, get some food, possibly. But I'll schedule it at 2. But yes, join me tomorrow for more Jujutsu, and then join me on Friday for the beginning after the end. And then on Saturday, I'll either do like a Breath of the Wild stream or that Q&A stream that I said I wanted to do. I feel like I might do that Q&A stream, because I said I wanted to have more streams where I'm just talking to all of you and have like an actual Q&A, because I've never had a Q&A stream before, but I'll probably do a Q&A stream on Saturday, but we'll see. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. Let me not keep you here any longer than I already have. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. So wish the anime shows more appreciation to Megane. Well, that's what the bonus mangas in these volumes are for. Now we can appreciate Megane even more.